Hello friends and welcome back to my channel for another Designing Disney episode. If you're new, you might not know, but I've started a new series on my channel called Designing Disney where I share all of my Disney themed projects. I'm currently working on my Disney cruise section of my album. So it's not theme park, it's very nautical, but still Disney, so I thought I'd share. Today I'm working on a 6x8 pocket page that will go in my 12x12 album. And it's a picture of the ship we were on. We were on the Dream. And we were at Nassau during this section of the trip, and there was a storm rolling in, and we were still on like the other side of the island from the ship, so we had a long way to walk back before the rain started pouring down. And we did get a little bit wet. It wasn't too bad, but you could see it coming, and we should have left sooner than we did. So this paper is from the DCWV stack, or the Craftsmith stack that I just showed you. Sorry about that. And it's just beautiful little anchors on a white background. And I pulled out one of these little umbrellas. Yes, these are drink umbrellas. Michael's had these at one point during a couple summers ago, and they were on clearance for 50 cents. And I was like, these would be super fun to use on a scrapbook page. But you can also get them on places like Amazon for relatively cheap, but I thought they were really cute, and I thought I'd use one sort of as an umbrella instead of a, drink umbrella. But now I'm looking at this chipboard sheet that I have, which is from My Mind's Eye. I thought this whale would have been perfect. It was just a little too big. It matched like the shape of the ship, but it was too big for what I wanted to do. So I pulled off a couple other pieces, including this little shell, and I'll pull off some more later as well. This is just one of my smaller doilies. If you guys don't know, I tend to use cake brand doilies, so the ones meant for baking, so like Wilton or even Hobby Lobby has their own brand of doilies, and they just tend to be cheaper than the scrapbooking branded doilies. And if I didn't mention it before, this 6x8 page is 2 4x6 photos, and this is from Echo Park. I have a variety of pocket pages. I like Echo Park, Simple Stories. This one just happens to be Echo Park. If you guys would like a video on how I store my extra page protectors, let me know in the comments down below. It's nothing fancy, but I know people are always looking for more ideas. I pulled a Paper House Paradise Found Collection 3D puffy sticker out, and it's a little cruise ship. It might just be a yacht. I'm not sure the definition of all the different types of boats, but this is a super puffy sticker, and I really wanted to use it since this is one of... We have a couple more photos of the ship when we go to Castaway Cay, but this is just one of the prominent photos that I had of the ship, and I thought it was so beautiful with the ominous clouds in the background. It really helped the white of the ship pop out. Now I'm working on a small cluster beneath my photo left here. So just beneath the ship, I'm going to put a little cluster in the water. I'm using some washi tape. These are both from Recollections. They have the 33-cent washi tape sale a lot nowadays, and I keep buying them every time I go because 33 cents for a roll of washi tape is an insane deal. So I have a bunch of those, and I have this little label from Ellie Studio, and then I have my wood pieces, and I like to buy things like that off of AliExpress. I've mentioned this before, but AliExpress is known for copying other people's artwork and stealing things that they shouldn't be, but things like this, which are just plain basic wood shapes, are not really copyrightable, so I buy cheaper things like that on there. But of course, support your local stores as well. But I know a lot of people are crafting on a budget nowadays because it is an expensive hobby. It's very addicting to buy more things, but sometimes you need a little deal. So here I have another chipboard anchor, and then I have my chipboard shell that I'll bring back to create a cluster on the right hand side. Now I wasn't sure this umbrella would hold, so I decided to staple it down, and the staple also didn't really work. It didn't go through because of the wood stick with the umbrella. So this is a very 3D page, which is fine. I don't mind bulky scrapbooks. I know some people do. So be aware of that. If you plan on using something like this, they're extremely bulky. And since this shell was going to lay partially across the wooden stick of the umbrella, I put a foam dot on the other side to help balance it out. Now this little anchor is a little bit wonky. I didn't put a foam piece beneath it because it was so thin I didn't think one would stick very well, nor could I cut one down small enough. And sorry if I keep going off screen. You guys wanted to see things closer up, so I started zooming in my camera more, but I also don't look up enough. Like, I'm not used to the new camera setup where I'd look up to see if I'm in frame or not. But this video is not too bad about that, so I'm glad that's starting to work out. But I know you guys wanted to see the up-close pieces of my pocket pages and my cards, so this is how I'm going to do that from now on. This is just a little Heidi Grace chipboard piece, and I actually made this layout a couple months back. I'm just finally getting around to editing them. And if you guys want to know, I was a little bit radio silent for the last couple of weeks in August. You can check out my blog post down below. That explains pretty much everything you need to know. But I am back. I should be back to full swing very shortly, if not already, by the time you're watching this. So thank you guys for all the love and the support while I was gone. I really appreciated coming back to lovely comments. My videos kept going up while I was gone, so it was nice to come back to people loving things still and not noticing I was gone or anything. But yeah, all that's linked down below if you're interested. I just used a ColorCast Designs resin piece. It's just a little conch shell, and I thought it was really cute, so I snuck that under the anchor to help support the other side of it. And these ColorCast Design sets are no longer available, but she does have other items in her shop, so I'll have it linked down below every time I feature her, just because you can't get this exact design anymore. Next up, I'm working on my title, but that's pretty much one of the last things I'll work on in this video. It just takes me a while to get it down pat. These are beautiful puffy stickers from Fancy Pants. I purchased these at Tuesday morning, and I've used them a million times it seems like, but I really love them. They're the perfect shade of blue, although they're on my new sticker carousel, and part of them is in the sun sometimes, and it's starting to show. Some of them are starting to yellow, which is very disappointing, but that's what happens when things age sometimes, or in the sunlight. I don't have curtains in my craft room. We've never had curtains in this room, so it's really disappointing that things are getting damaged that way. So I might have to invest in some curtains soon to get that fixed. Now I'm working on the rolling in, so I'm just going to put the storm rolling in as my title, and I'm using my little EK Success Tool tweezers to help. And like someone else mentioned in a comment before, these are opposite tweezers, so they automatically stay closed and you have to press them to release, and it's very difficult to get used to. I'm still getting used to it, but I'm using these Studio Calico stickers. These are alphabet stickers I purchased, not from Studio Calico. They were from somewhere else, and I can't remember where I got them, but I don't believe they're any longer available. They're a very odd color. It's a very warm gray, almost a brown, but they do appear very gray on this layout when I get them stick down. But on their sheet they look very grayish brown, which is why I haven't used them very often, and also they're very difficult to get off because they're so small. So I'm finally using some of them, which is great because, as you guys know, I tend to use the same thickers over and over and over again, so finally getting something here. So Storm Rolls In is the title. I just said it wrong earlier, but that's okay. But that's almost it for this layout. This was the most annoying part. Alphabets tend to be the most annoying part for me. As you guys know, I struggle with titles and journaling, but I'm getting better at it, so this is what we're starting with. But there's my title. It's practically straight, but still on an angle. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And to finish off this layout, I will do a little bit of embellishing, of course, because I can't just leave it alone. And just using my fine line bottle. If I haven't mentioned it already, I use the Scotch glue in that, the quick dry glue. That's my favorite liquid adhesive to use. But again, I'm using some Spiegelmom Scrap Sequins. This is the Movie Night collection. I'm using the beautiful blues in here and just gluing those down with my quick pick stick, which again has been a favorite of mine for the last couple of months. And it's just beautiful blues to blend in with the different nautical patterns and nautical pieces. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!